If you're thinking about buying your first home, then there's a version of this process where everything feels smooth, planned, and under control. And then there's a version where you're hemorrhaging money in month 2, wondering what just happened. My name is Gaurav, and this is part 2 of my first time home buyer myth busting series. In part 1, we talked about pre-qualification versus pre-approval, the 10% down payment myth, the spring market dynamics myth, and myths stopping you from creating the best offer when you do find that right home. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, then you should go watch that first. The link is in the description. Now, in this video, we are getting into myths surrounding the property itself. Inspections, new builds, hidden costs after closing, and the expectations that can mess up your first month once you actually move in. So, let's get into it. We start with myth 8. New homes don't need inspections. A lot of people think it's a new home, what can really be wrong? But a new home does not automatically mean problem-free. A walk through 4-year-old homes with multiple foundation cracks, that's not rare, and it's not always a deal breaker either. But you want to know about it and understand whether it's cosmetic or something bigger. I've also seen countless new homes with attic humidity issues because a bathroom exhaust fan was vented into the attic instead of outside, which can lead to mold over time if no one catches it. The truth is, a lot of builders are under pressure to move fast and manage costs. Corners are getting cut. Just repeating the story that new is better and skipping the inspection is not a good strategy. Myth 9. A clean inspection means the house won't give me problems. A lot of buyers think the inspection looked good, so this home shouldn't give me any new issues for a long time. Then the first thing goes wrong and the instinct is to blame the inspection or the inspector. That's something I've seen many times. Clients reaching out after they move in, upset about the first leak, the first appliance failure, or the first small crack they notice, assuming it means the inspection was bad. In most cases, it isn't that the inspector missed something obvious, it's that an inspection is a snapshot of what can be seen and tested on that day. It cannot predict exactly when an older appliance will fail or what might start happening a month or two later in the home. So even a clean report doesn't mean no new problems. It means here's what we can see today and here's how things stand based on that. Myth 10. The down payment is the only big cost. Most people focus so hard on the down payment that they forget there's a second bucket of money called closing costs. On a typical home purchase, you can be looking at land transfer tax, legal fees, title insurance, and adjustments for taxes and utilities. On $1 million home, that can easily add up to another $10,000 or more on top of the down payment. If you don't plan for that, everything feels fine until you get close to closing and realize you're short. The simple fix is to get a rough closing cost estimate for your price range early and treat that amount as a non-negotiable, just like the down payment. That way, you're not scrambling at the last minute or dipping into money you meant to keep as buffer. Myth 11. You should put every dollar into the down payment. On paper, putting every last dollar into the down payment might feel smart because it leads to a smaller mortgage and a lower monthly payment. But the real life after closing is never that clean. The first year in a home is usually when you discover surprises. An appliance dies, something leaks or breaks, or you hit an unexpected life expense. If you've drained all your savings into the down payment, those things end up on a credit card or a line of credit, and now you've traded mortgage interest for higher interest debt. A better approach is to choose a down payment that still leaves you with a real cushion after closing, like an emergency fund, which is enough that if a couple of things go wrong in the first year, then you can still manage everything. Myth 12. You can back out anytime before closing. There's a quiet assumption that until you get the keys, you can still walk away if you change your mind. Once your offer is firm and accepted, that's not the case. At that point, you're in a binding contract. If you try to walk away without a valid condition protecting you, like financing or inspection, you're at a real risk of losing your deposit and in some cases being sued for more if the seller has to sell later for less. The safe way to think about it is this. Conditions are your exit ramps. You use them while they're there. Once they're removed and the deal is firm, you should assume you're going all the way to closing. So don't agree to go firm because you feel rushed or pressured. Only do it once you're comfortable with the financing, the inspection, and any other key pieces that matter to you in that situation. Myth 13. It's all about the house, not about the neighborhood. It's very easy to focus on the kitchen, bathrooms, and square footage and forget you're also buying the street, the commute, and the day-to-day feel of the area. In real life, things like how long you sit in traffic, how safe and comfortable the street feels, and what school your kids end up in, and whether you actually enjoy stepping outside your front door usually matter more than the exact countertop material in the kitchen. You can change finishes over time. You cannot move the house closer to work, swap out the neighbors, or drop it into a better school zone. That's why it helps to decide on your key location filters first, like commute, schools, and community, and then look for homes inside those areas. Myth 14. The perfect home is out there if I just keep looking. A lot of buyers hold on to this belief that if they wait long enough, they'll find the home that has everything: ideal layout, perfect finishes, great location, and a price that feels like a steal. In practice, that home does not exist. Your perfect home is just outside your price range, and that happens because of human psychology. I have closed over 20 million in real estate. I see this behavior every single day. Every property has a trade-off somewhere. Maybe it's the lot size, the age of the home, the commute, or the renovations. What usually happens when you chase perfect is time passes, good options come and go, and sometimes the market moves while you're waiting. A more practical way to think about it is to decide your top few non-negotiables like location, size, or outdoor space, and accept that everything else is a trade-off. When a home hits those key items and misses on the things that can be improved over time, that's often the right time to seriously consider moving forward instead of restarting the search again. Myth 15. Hidden costs don't really change much. When people compare renting to owning, they usually compare rent to the mortgage payment and stop there. But owning a home comes with other regular costs: property taxes, home insurance, utilities that might be higher than what you're used to, plus ongoing maintenance and repairs. If you're buying a condo or townhouse, there may also be a monthly fees on top of that. These numbers can shift the true monthly cost of owning quite a bit. To avoid surprises, it helps to build a simple all-in picture before you buy: mortgage, taxes, insurance, average utilities, and a rough amount set aside for maintenance. If that total number feels tight when you look at it, then that's your signal to adjust your price range now before you're locked into a payment and a home that stretches you every single month. If you watched this far, you're already doing more homework than most first-time buyers. If you haven't seen part 1 yet and you want the full picture from the beginning, things like pre-approvals, affordability, down payments, and getting ready for the spring market, then there's a link in the description to watch that next. If you want help going through your numbers before you start looking at homes, there's a link below to book a call. I'd love to connect with you. And if you want more research-driven educational content around real estate and long-term wealth building, then make sure to click the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.